Hey guys, Arleesha here, and welcome to another collab video. This time I'm going to be partnering up with Mel from the YouTube channel Visual Mind. Mel and I officially connected through the Animal Artist Collective when she and I were both participating a few months ago, and I've since really been enjoying her content. She makes lots of really creative art journaling videos and watercolor tutorials about landscapes and sketchbooking tips and all types of really neat stuff. You guys should definitely check her out. And while I am going through and sorting all of my stickers, choosing some stickers for my brand new sketchbook, I'll leave links to all of the artists whose stickers I'm using down in the description. While I'm getting that all put together and set up, I can tell you what Mel and I decided to do together. So she and I wanted to do like a sketchbook spread, something inside of our sketchbooks that would have a similar theme. So at first we were talking about buildings, we were talking about houses, and then we were talking about tropical fruits. So we were kind of going back and forth with those two things, and I don't remember how it specifically came about, but we decided to do both. So we decided to do a sketchbook spread that featured both buildings and tropical fruits, which is kind of a funny combination. And at first I was thinking about drawing either very large fruits that were buildings or very tiny houses on fruits, and I just couldn't get away from the idea of including people or figures or characters. So I ended up kind of mashing everything all together with something that felt a little bit more me. And I finally got out my Holbein Acryla Gouache that I haven't really used since I reviewed it, and you can check out that video in the top right corner if you want to see my review for these paints. But I was really excited to get them out again because I had enjoyed using them so much back when I was testing them out to get ready to review them. If you're not familiar with Acryla Gouache, it's called gouache, but it's technically just acrylic paint with a mattifier, so that when it dries it doesn't have that classic sort of shine that acrylic paint does. It dries a bit more matte, which makes it much more similar to gouache. But because it has an acrylic base, it's still going to dry permanent, which is why I'm using this little Stay Wet palette. And again, just like with the stickers, I'll have the lists of all the materials I'm using down in the description if you're curious about anything, except for the tin that I showed you that all of my acrylic gouache is in, because that was actually a special thing that an art supplies company here in the United States had limited time, limited numbers of things. So anyway, I talk more about that in the review if you're curious about that. I was really excited to get these paints out again and to work with larger areas of flat color instead of my very loose wet washes that I usually use, and it felt very different. I actually posted a little bit about this on Instagram, and someone mentioned how interesting it is when just changing up a medium or doing something different can really change how an artist's art looks. So they said that this art still looks like mine, but it was still so different because of the different medium, and I totally agree with that. I mean, the way that I was blocking in color, and because it was in my sketchbook, so I wasn't trying to make it super perfect. I was allowing things to be more experimental, and I was also kind of just adventuring more and doing things that I am sometimes more afraid to do when I'm working on a finished piece. So because this is in my sketchbook, I was experimenting with painting in line work, which I don't usually do, but I love it when I do it, and using colors that I tend to shy away from on finished pieces because I want it to look a particular way. And this was just such a fun experiment. I enjoyed every second of working on this sketchbook page, and I'm really excited to see what Mel comes up with for her pages, which also reminds me, I'm sorry that this video is going up a bit late. Mel and I were trying to work together so that we could both publish our videos at the same time, and we wanted to kind of sync things up for you guys so both videos would be available at the same time. I had a lot of fun experimenting with this and kind of using a lot of the acrylic gouache colors kind of right out of the tube instead of mixing them with other colors too much. There were some colors that I mixed so that they would work together like on the actual figures or within like these little star fruits that I was painting. And I did mix some colors, but a lot of them I wanted to use just the way that they were right out of the tube and just experiment and see how things looked. And I'm really happy with this start to my new sketchbook, and it was just such an enjoyable experiment. I allowed things to be kind of loose and all over the place with the colors, and it actually just kind of kept getting looser as I was progressing and working more on the page. So as I started finishing up and adding more of like the final details, things were just getting rougher and looser, and I was dry brushing on my paper, and I even started to water down the Acryla Gouache so that I could use it more like watercolors for washes in the background and all that sort of stuff. And it was really nice because I did this sketchbook page over 2 separate days, and because I was using that Stay Wet palette that has a lid, it has a sponge, and then the paper that the paint sits on, everything stayed nice and wet and my paint didn't dry because, like I said, once this paint dries, it dries permanently, so I wouldn't have been able to re-wet or reactivate this paint once it was dry. I had been using like a sort of makeshift Stay Wet palette that I made myself out of like a plastic bowl with some parchment paper and a paper towel, and that was nice, but this palette was actually really great because the lid closes securely and I have a larger mixing area than what I had before, so that was really nice and really fun. As you guys may have seen in my last video, I'm going to be taking a break starting now, technically starting the time that you're seeing this video, for the month of February, so I won't be uploading any new videos in the month of February, but I will be back again in March. I have a lot of experimental things to show you, so many amazing new projects that I've been working on that I honestly just can't wait to share with you guys. There are some things that I have been wanting to do for what seems like forever, and they're finally going to be happening, and I'm going to be sharing those videos with you. But for the month of February, I'm just going to be taking a nice long vacation and experimenting and learning things without the pressure of creating new videos. And I'm sure I'm going to miss you guys, and I'm definitely going to miss talking with you in the comments and creating new things to inspire and share with each other. It's gonna be hard at first, but I'm really looking forward to taking a break and spending more time with my family and all that fun stuff. I also can't end this video without thanking you guys for a very important milestone that we've reached, which is 50,000 subscribers. How did this happen, guys? How did we get to 50,000 subscribers? I hope you can hear it in my voice. I'm just smiling like a crazy person, and I'm so excited that we hit this milestone. It's such a big deal, and it's halfway to 100,000, which is... I live in a small town that only has a population of like 4,000 people, so trying to imagine 50,000 people who have clicked that subscribe button and who have decided that they wanted to see more of my content is kind of... I can't even comprehend that. So thank you guys so much. As a tiny bit of a thank you, we'll be doing something more official when I come back, but as a tiny bit of a thank you ahead of time, if you guys want to head over to Instagram, you can tag any selfies, any pictures of yourself with the hashtag #DrawMeArlie, that's me, and I'm going to be sketching out a ton of you guys for portrait practice, and I'll probably be recording some of that along the way throughout the month of February, and I will have a video for you guys when I come back in March of me sketching you. So if you would like to maybe have me do a sketch of you, you can head over to Instagram, use the hashtag #DrawMeArlie, and maybe I'll draw you. Maybe. We'll see. It depends on how the month goes. I'm not setting any plans for my break, and I'm so grateful. So thank you guys so much for supporting this channel, and my shop will also be closed during the month of February, and I'm just so very grateful to all of you. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please go check out Mel's video. That's what I'll be doing as soon as it's up, and I will see you all in the next video in March. So have a wonderful February. Bye guys.